Have you ever been stuck on an idea and no matter how much you try, you just can't seem to find the right angle? I want to share how I use AI as my idea DJ as a way to break through these creative blocks by mashing up ideas together and generating new concepts that will hopefully give me some inspiration in a newer direction. I'm gonna walk through a recent interaction with ChatGPT that I had for an edtech idea that I'm working on. But it's important to note that this process should be universal, provided you have something you can feed the AI and 2 or 3 different ideas that you can ask it to combine together. I was looking at how instructors can have a separate interface from the students when they're working with them so that they can get more information to help guide the students effectively, but without having the students get biased by the data that the instructor is getting from the tool. I had written many articles about this and shared videos on this YouTube channel in the playlist that you can see up there. And I was trying to grab onto something, but no matter how many times I would go to Google and try and search for this idea, nothing meaningful would come up. So I went to ChatGPT and I started by asking the AI to read my previous blog posts. I did that by taking screenshots of them and uploading them into it, and asking it to look for any themes in my blog posts around edtech interactions that enable deeper learning. At the time, I was trying to not influence the machine too much and just see what kind of emerged organically from my writing, because maybe this idea already existed in there. And we can see from the AI's answer that while there was a lot of interesting information to work on here, it didn't seem to latch on to the specific themes of the instructor having a different interface that I was really interested in. And so my next step was to answer it by specifying that I want to give an instructor an interface that's different from what the students see. And based on the articles I've shared above and the video transcript of my latest video, which I pasted below, as you can see here, what do you see as an area of exploration for this kind of asymmetric interface between instructor and learner? Essentially, I'm trying to give the AI keywords to see where it can go from my existing content. The idea being that I'm giving it all the tags, if you will, of things that I've done in the past and seeing what it can pull out of them and what kind of ideas it can spur for me. So after it reads through the entire script that I pasted in here, it comes up with some more concepts. But for some reason, again, it didn't quite go in the direction that I would have liked. It's trying too hard to give me the actual idea itself, less so an open-ended or let's say like divergent thinking process that would help me pick and choose what I like and dig deeper in the research. And while this might seem like a waste of time going back and forth and getting things that aren't quite correct, in fact, it was very helpful. There is a phenomenon where you flip a coin and decide that if you get tails, you're going to order a burger, and if you get heads, you're going to order a pizza. And then invariably, the coin lands, it's tails, and instead of ordering the burger, like tails should have commanded you to, you realize that deep down you actually wanted pizza. And so you ignore the coin and you go in the opposite direction and order that. And so doing this kind of process with an AI is actually a bit similar. In seeing what it's telling me are good ideas, I'm realizing they're in fact not the ideas I want to pursue. And humans are very reactionary. I'm a lot more able to react to this than start from a completely blank page. And so I did. My next prompt was, I think the point was to make it more about how the instructor becomes like a Dungeons and Dragons dungeons master. They can see things that the students can't see so that they can make decisions that benefit the group. It's a layer of real-time analytics, but also tooling to enable on-the-fly activity building and provocations. Now, the last part of this prompt is the part that I decided to add so that it can not ideate for me, but rather do research for me. Can you think of anything like this? Any philosophers, scientists, technologists, or educators that speak about this kind of thing? And so now there is the Dungeons and Dragons idea. There is the real-time analytics. And then from all the stuff that I gave before, the information asymmetry, the previous blog posts about the experiments that I'd filmed before, all of those things have finally come together and given me an incredible list of research. Honestly, when ChatGPT came back to me with this answer, I was shocked at the quality of the research. And more than that, all these educational psychology and philosophy experts whose works I was familiar with, but not so much so that I would have thought to look into them for this kind of thing, really shows the value of mashing up things with a language model as opposed to a Google search. Using a Google search, you have to do lots of keyword foraging, digging and understanding what the right thing to type in is to get the right answer. But with AI, I can be loose and just say what I'm feeling, make typos, go back and forth and negotiate with it, and it'll just keep mashing up as long as I'm asking it to. Because of its willingness to give me answers, it'll never stop trying to please me, and that can actually be a really good thing when the point of the research is to be creative and the starting point for my own further digging. This is by no means an invitation for people to go and ask ChatGPT to write the entire blog post for them based on that single prompt. Instead, it's a way to get yourself started on doing some more digging by asking it to combine two concepts. As for me, by typing in those two things and by having a long history of writing and videos on YouTube, I can take those scripts and blog posts, throw them into ChatGPT, and then ask it to give me twists on my writing, but for new concepts that I'm trying to explore, peel apart, and understand more deeply. And you can always go a step further and ask it to get you the links to the things that it found. So if I come back here, it'll go out onto the web and pull those links in for me. And then I can go through them and validate to see if they are actually helpful and save myself a whole lot of Google searching, because the AI is simultaneously finding the links and summarizing what's behind the links relative to all the prompting that I've been doing so far. So this is a much more contextual way to do this kind of searching. And that is it for the Idea DJ concept. Let me know if this sparked any ideas for any creative research that you might be interested in conducting recently. Maybe you're stuck on something and you have it on the tip of your tongue, but it's not quite there, and Google doesn't seem to be giving you what you're looking for. You can leave those ideas down in the comments below, or any other comments about how you use AI for creative research of any kind. And as always, thank you for watching.